Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I have no shame. Todd Chrisley speaks out after Trump's pardon that freed him from prison. Todd Chrisley says that he has no shame as he appeared in public for the first time since being free from prison following an intervention from President Donald Trump. Shame is like a cancer that just spreads, and I have no shame, he said in reference to his case where he was convicted of tax evasion. Chrisley spoke on Friday from Nashville as he addressed his pardon. He spoke next to his daughter, Savannah Chrisley, who lobbied the administration for her parents' release. Julie Chrisley was not at the press conference. The multi-millionaire Trump supporters, whose show Chrisley Knows Best ran from 2014 to 2023, were found guilty of conspiring to defraud community banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans in 2022. We're blessed to have our family back, and we're blessed to be coming back to television because we do have a much bigger story, Todd Chrisley told reporters at the briefing, touting their new TV show. He added that they started filming for the show as soon as we got home from prison. Savannah Chrisley addressed what she said was the biggest misconception about the couple's pardon following accusations of corruption. The biggest misconception right now is that I either paid for a pardon or slept for a pardon, she said. That's something I would have done, her father interjected. She added that the pardon came about from countless hours, time and money she spent on traveling to D.C., where she was in the right room at the right time with the right people. Todd Chrisley was also asked by a reporter whether he had any remorse. Do I have any remorse? He asked. I would have remorse if it was something that I did. The family announced earlier in the week they were making a TV comeback, the untitled Chrisley's Project on Lifetime. We have a new show coming out on Lifetime, and it will document all of these things, Savannah Chrisley said per ABC News. And we're excited. We literally could not have done it. It's all God and President Trump at this point. Prosecutors said the couple walked away from their responsibility for repayment when Todd Chrisley declared bankruptcy. Julie Chrisley was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison, and Todd Chrisley got 12 years behind bars. The couple was also ordered to pay $17.8 million in restitution. The couple have been appealing their case since being sentenced in November 2022 and have been in prison since January 2023. Savannah Chrisley, who has pushed for the pardon, revealed in an interview that Trump said her parents didn't look like terrorists, and he wanted to give them the full pardon. Well, he did say, he was like, you guys don't look like terrorists to me, she told News Nation's On Balance with Leland Vittert Monday. His exact words, which was pretty funny. For context, the Chrisleys are well-known Trump supporters. Ally Samarco, a Democratic strategist, told her followers on X. Trump just pardoned TV personalities Todd and Julie Chrisley, who conspired to defraud Atlanta area banks out of $30 million in fraudulent loans. In Trump's America, crimes are celebrated and prison sentences are cut short, said Harry Sisson, a Democratic influencer, on X, calling it actual insanity. In another post, Sisson noted that the pardons for the Chrisleys come as Trump also pardoned a corrupt Virginia sheriff who took over $75,000 in bribes. Trump called him a wonderful person and a man convicted of serious tax crimes, whose mom donated $1 million to Trump and worked on his campaigns. The Independent stands for many things, often uniquely so. It stands independent of political party allegiance and makes its own mind up on the issues of the day. The Independent has always been committed to challenge and debate. It launched in 1986 to create a new voice, and in that time has run campaigns for issues ranging from the legalization of marijuana to the final say that could have been ripped straight from an episode of Chrisley Knows Best. Reality TV star Todd Chrisley walked out of prison a free man, head held high, hair still coiffed to perfection, and words ready to fly. less than 24 hours after receiving a controversial pardon from former President Donald Trump, Chrisley took to a live stream, standing in front of an American flag and flanked by his ever-supportive wife Julie, to deliver a message dripping with defiance, gratitude, and the type of charisma that made him a household name. "I have no shame," Todd declared, arms open as if addressing a congregation. "I was made to be the villain of a story that was never mine to begin with. But let me be crystal clear. I never stopped believing that my truth would rise. And today, thanks to President Trump, it has." The pardon that shocked the nation. Chrisley, once sentenced to a 12-year term for bank fraud and tax evasion, had served less than 3 years before his name appeared on a list of presidential pardons that included business moguls, a former congressman, and even a disgraced rodeo clown. But it was Chrisley's name that sent shockwaves through social media. The pardon came with little explanation, other than a brief line stating, "Todd Chrisley has served his community through charitable work and has faced punishment disproportionate to his alleged wrongdoing." Alleged wrongdoing. For fans who watched Todd's trial unfold like a slow-motion car crash, the word alleged triggered a wave of disbelief. But Todd seemed unfazed. "You can choose to stay bitter, or you can choose to be better," he said, quoting what he described as his new motto. "I'm walking into this next chapter with no apologies and absolutely no shame." A message to his haters, Todd didn't hold back in his impromptu post-prison press conference. With a mixture of Southern charm and pent-up frustration, he addressed the bloggers, critics, and even former friends who he claims profited off my downfall. "They tried to cancel me. They thought putting me in a cell would silence me. Well, guess what? It only amplified my voice," he said. "Some folks had a lot to say when I was wearing prison khakis. Let's see how bold they are now that I'm back in designer boots." Julie Chrisley, who had been serving her own sentence separately, was granted a reduction that remains behind bars. Todd paused for a moment when asked about her, his tone softening. "She's the strongest woman I know," he said. "And trust me, her time is coming too. No shame in that either. We're gonna get through it as a family." Trump and the reality TV connection. Unsurprisingly, Todd had high praise for the man who made it all possible. "President Trump didn't just pardon me. He recognized that sometimes the system gets it wrong, especially when it's going after people the public loves to hate," Todd said. "We've both had cameras follow us, both been called every name in the book, and both survived. That's not a coincidence. That's a bond." Though Trump has not publicly commented beyond the official pardon list, insiders say the decision was lobbied for by several high-profile entertainment figures and supported by a compelling stack of letters from fans and family members. Savannah and Chase Chrisley were reportedly instrumental in launching a private campaign to petition the former president. "I'm not ashamed to say I needed help," Todd added, "and I'm not ashamed that I got it." What's next for Todd? When asked what he planned to do next, Todd didn't hesitate. "There will be a new show. I can't say too much, but let's just say prison taught me a thing or two about survival, forgiveness, and who you can trust when the lights go out," he teased. "People want the truth, not some filtered version of it, and I'm ready to give it to them." The potential series, tentatively titled Chrisley Reclaimed, is rumored to follow Todd's post-prison reintegration, his fight to clear Julie's name, and his rocky relationship with the legal system that once caged him. There are whispers of podcast deals, book offers, and even a faith-based documentary. Todd didn't confirm any of them but smiled knowingly. "I've got stories," he said. "And trust me, they're better than fiction." The internet reacts, of course. Not everyone was thrilled. #FreeChrisley quickly trended alongside #ShamefulPardon, with critics pointing out the injustice of wealthy public figures escaping consequences. Others compared Todd's pardon to similar reality TV-inspired decisions in the past. But Todd remained unmoved. "Let the haters tweet," he said. "They'd always had more time than sense. I'm too busy living." In an emotional moment near the end of his address, Todd turned to the camera and said, To everyone who prayed for me, who stood by me, who didn't let the headlines decide who I was, thank you. And to those who didn't, well, God bless you too. I've got no shame and no grudge.